Next, we will be watching U.S. Marines surrounded by communists, The Chosen Reservoir by The Fat Electrician. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment in the dooley-doo. This was recorded live at twitch.tv/LuminusRed. Come on in, drop a follow, come hang out. We are currently at partner status. Congratulations, me. I know. But we are still working to grow my audience size. The more people we have in chat, the more people we have that number going up, the better, because we have more opportunities and we can have more fun as an entire community. So please come on in, lurk away. Even if you can't stick around for all of stream, it very, very much helps just to leave it lurking in the background. Mute the tab, not the video, and we would be so honored to have you as part of our community. In the meantime, I've been enjoying The Fat Electrician a lot, and I've been told that I need to see the new video. So we're gonna watch the new video, and make sure, please, to go support the original video, the original content. I'm going to put that in YouTube and Twitch chat. It will be in the link in the description. Please go there, like, comment, subscribe, watch the full video all the way through. Make sure that he gets the views, those dollary dues, all those things. Until then, let's enjoy.
All right, well, it's Halloween. I guess we should talk about that time that the United States Marine Corps figured out a way to turn Tootsie Rolls into a weapon.
What?
Today we're talking about one of the most underappreciated.
This man is the king of hooks. Honestly, immediately right out of the gate, he's like, hey, I'm gonna say something that is kind of insane, but it will make sense in a second. Like, you're gonna be totally understand why I'm saying this. But right now, it just sounds absurd. What the heck? The Twitch gods grow more impotent as the days pass. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Fat Electrician, exactly. I love this. I love his cold opens. They're such a good way to bring it in here. Also, I need to get by one of his rubber ducks. You should do that too. Go support his merch store too. Go spend money. Receive Fat Electrician.
Battles the United States military history.
Yes, I do.
The Battle of the Chosen
Tootsie
Reservoir.
Rolls can
When
patch tires.
15,000 U.S. Marines and 3,000 Army soldiers got ambushed and surrounded by 120,000 Chinese communist forces in the dead of winter, with temperatures reaching as low as -50. But despite the weather, despite being ambushed and taken by surprise, and despite being outnumbered 4-1, the United States Marine Corps led this operation to not only survive. I do notice
the tattoo in his arms now. I'm sorry. I know, but they look good. Honestly, those look like awesome tattoos. You have really cool tattoos, buddy. Also, your shoulder game is strong. Like, I can see the workout effort. Good job. Good job. Oh my gosh, gives me a pickle. Yay! Tattoos do look cool. I'm currently deciding what I want to do for tattoos, because I want tattoos and I just never got them. I kind of want to get rings around my arms, like, wow, I'm sorry, we're 38 seconds into here. Here, so there's going to be some upcoming merch drop for me. It's not out yet, not even close, but there is going to be something with Waifu Wicks. It's an amazing company, and they make candles and stuff. And this is some of the art, and I want these tattoos. I want these so badly. I really do. It's going to be candles, body wash, I think, scented stuff, as well as some other things. That's also going to be a desk mat. Anyways, sorry about the impromptu merch plug, my bad. But I kind of want those. I love that so much. Like, originally they were an artifact of the shirt. Like, you can see them on here. And I wasn't quite like, I'm not sure. But then we were actually like removing the shirt, and I was like, oh, it looks good. Oh, that tattoo won't hurt too bad. It won't? Okay, good. Oh, thank you, Shark New, for the follow, and Kuro Kage, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Body wash, we all know that she's gonna use that, chat. It also has lotion too. No white ink tattoos are the best. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. But I think about that. I also am thinking about the point of origin symbol from Stargate. That's another. I kind of want to put that on an arm, and on the other arm, I kind of want to put like a rose or something like that, because I love roses. My two favorite flowers are roses and lavender, and I was kind of thinking of like a rose and flower lavender bouquet on one shoulder, the earth symbol on the other, and then the two circles. Red Hood's wolf would be good too. There's too many ideas I have. Hello, Kuro, welcome in. Okay, let's get back into this. I'm so sorry. I watched Stargate. I love Stargate. I was watching Stargate before stream, and I love it so much. I was rewatching the freaking Siege of Atlantis, because it's so good. I only have tattoos. I need more. Yeah, I've been told they're addictive.
10% of the South Korean civilian population in the process, and we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor.
Ooh. Delete me.
What's your problem?
Here, she's so cute. What the heck?
All night. Is this Echelon?
Yes. Don't be drinking all my new Echelon.
You finally made one.
Oh.
That's not spicy. So I'm gonna take this.
Oh, adorable.
Do you want your other Echelon? Here's the deal, super simple, straightforward business
the reason
model.
for the record, the reason I'm popping out like this is I want to make sure I'm not covering that like I am. So you can actually go and support his stuff. Go use code electrician at joindeleteme.com. An electrician, please go do it. Get the things.
They turn around and make sure that data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell. Okay, there's a saying: if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What that means is pretty much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service. Whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. Okay, it's all an app. So one of two things is happening. They're either going to feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money since their service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it. And next thing you know, you're getting 17,000.
Legitimately, when this started, I thought that it was going to be an ad for whatever the drink was that she took from him. Like that's what I thought this ad was for. That was an interesting transition, but she looked really good in that outfit. Like it was really cute. Product, rock hard abs, not
robocalls every single day. And that's where DeleteMe comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then they'll continue to monitor these data brokers, and if they get your information again, DeleteMe will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying DeleteMe to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video.
Okay.
All right, Battle of the Chosen Reservoir. In order to understand it, you have to understand the Korean War. And considering it's literally called the Forgotten War and most people know nothing about it, we're going to go ahead and do a little recap so we're all on the same page. After World War II, the Korean Peninsula is divided along the 38th parallel, pretty much the same border that we have today. Up north, you have the North Koreans that are communist.
The outfit's been a running gag for like, you look like you're going to drive by a carriage. Do a drive-by carriage. Oh my gosh, Vincent. The Sun and Moon Wolves. Oh, I like that. I want to. Oh, that would be really cool on your back, Winter.
Soviet Union and China. Down south, you have the capitalist South Koreans that are backed by the United States of America and the rest of the Western world. On June 25th, 1950, the North Koreans attack. They invade South with Soviet tanks and Soviet training, and they pretty much steamroll the South Koreans, capturing Seoul, the capital, in less than 72 hours, and driving all of the South Korean forces all the way down the peninsula to a tiny little alcove where they're holding out, known as the Pusan
Good job, Harris.
And then America steps in. Why does America step in? Because at this point in time, America is practicing what is known as containment doctrine, and containment is referring to communism. Basically, the American leadership has decided that communism is bad and we don't want more of it. However, we don't want to go in there and root out the entire ideology because it would be World War III and there'd be a ton of deaths. So America kind of looks at communism like an inoperable cancer. We're not willing to go in there and take it out at the root. However, we're going to do everything we can to stop it from spreading. The idea being, if we can stop it from spreading, we can prevent World War III, because if we allow the communists to take South Korea or any other nation, then it's going to spread from South Korea to Japan to Australia, and it's going to go all over the world. And next thing you know...
Hi, Roku TVT, welcome in. Thank you for the congratulations. But like, okay, freaking, like, the way that they approach communism, I guess kind of the best way to do it, I guess, in the moment, because like, they knew what World War II was like. They're not doing that again. No one anyone who's been through World War II, or even like, especially if they've been through World War I and II successively, no one wants World War III. If you've done, like, I mean, I don't want World War III now, personally. I'm not sure about you, but I'd rather not. But I don't know. I think everyone's just like, okay, we got to do anything we can, but also we really don't like this ideology because we like money. So, let's deal with it. But I honestly, I think I do. I'm not going to say any kind of like positive or negatives about capitalism versus communism. I'm not making that statement, but I do understand like the way that they did the Cold War. It makes absolute sense. And the same reason why like there was kind of like this, like, especially Russia didn't want to take direct action against the United States. So like everyone was like, nah, we don't want to do another world war. That shit sucks so hard. I like how the Cold War wasn't direct conflict, just espionage. Yeah, no, it's more, honestly, it's also more fun for movies now. In retrospect, I mean, it was not great, but like, there's problems with it all, and like, you know, people died and it's not good. Make love, not war. I would like that too. But it makes total sense, and I kind of like that time of history because it becomes a little more complex and kind of interesting, because it's not just like, and then they went to war again and the world was at war 3, you know, it's a little bit of spice to your history textbook. It's kind of fun, you know.
We've got World War III, capitalism versus communism, and it'd be a fucking catastrophe. Whether that's right or wrong, that was the idea and the strategy at the time. Now, the obvious thing to do would be to land all the American forces inside the Pusan.
The ones that he showed have a line of pre-war like mango reaper, watermelon, Thai cherry, berry habanero, and yuzu cayenne. Oh, they're all spicy. You all lost the game? What do you mean, MoonMax? Has Lumi reacted to the history of the entire world? I think I did. It might be on my YouTube. Check my YouTube.
Perimeter and then fight your way back up the peninsula, but that's not what General MacArthur and the rest of the American leadership decides to do. They decide to take a riskier strategy of launching an amphibious landing on the other side of the country in Inchon. Why is this risky? Because Inchon is not a very viable location to launch a massive amphibious landing because it's a horrible beach. There's literally a seawall there. The only time an amphibious landing would be possible would be for 1 or 2 hours during high tide. And when you're talking about moving tens of thousands of men out of hundreds of boats in a 1 to 2 hour gap at a very particular time,
not happening.
That's going to require both logistical perfection and a significant amount of luck. But that's exactly what happens. On September 15th, 1950, America launches Operation Chromite, lands 75,000 Marines in Inchon. They immediately take over Inchon, catching the North Koreans off guard, and head straight into Seoul and take it over as well. From here, they pretty much cut the enemy lines in half, cutting off supplies to all of the men south of them, and all the UN forces break out of Pusan, pushing back.
I'm not sure. It looks like he's got scars right where his tank top of. Was he wearing like a razor blades tank top at one point? Like, why would... I'm not sure what's happening here. There's nothing wrong with having scars either. My brain is just keeps seeing it as this, and my brain is like, did this tank top hurt him? Do we need to go and like arrest a tank top out there? I'm worried about that. This is
the peninsula. By early October, literally in 2 fucking weeks, America has retaken all of South Korea and pushed the North Koreans all the way back into their own country. At this point, General MacArthur, who's already pretty renowned for being arrogant, sees the outrageous success that he's had in this risky operation. He's taken over all of South Korea in like 2 weeks. Everything's going great. He gets the idea in his head of like, hey, what if we break containment doctrine and we push into North Korea and just eliminate the North Koreans completely, and then we can unify Korea?
No. Don't like that.
So he takes this idea to the president and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The Joint Chiefs of Staff actually kind of like the idea, but President Truman is hesitant because he doesn't want to start World War III. So he issues the order, U.S. forces are allowed to proceed into North Korea with caution. However, disclaimer, only South Korean forces can advance all the way to the border between North Korea and China. And this is a brilliant strategy on President Truman's part. Because you have to understand, China is a communist nation that's not only backing North Korea, but they're ran by Chairman Mao, and he just got done fighting
it is Cold War, specifically the Korean War as well.
War in his own country.
Canadians go plus in war?
I probably do need to. The United States was backing, and he knows that America fucking hates.
He rubs his pectoral in jiu-jitsu because he's a coach. So basically, drilled through the bone and put a pin through healing. Oh, that's so cool. That's cool to know, Vincent. I can't believe he did that. Holy crap, he's a jiu-jitsu coach. That's so impressive. I'm so sorry he had to go through that. Like, rupturing a pectoral sounds horrifying. But yeah, no, it's good to know. Thank you, Vincent, so much. Yeah, Korean War. Yeah, the Korean War.
So Chairman Mao is understandably paranoid that America's going to invade. He also is battle-hardened. Yeah. He has a ton of men that are also battle-hardened. So Truman, by doing this, is saying like, hey, we'll advance into North Korea, but we're only going to send the South Koreans all the way up to the Chinese border. And this is going to send the clear message to China, hey, America's not coming to invade China. We're just going to, stop here 100 miles back, and then we're going to let the South Koreans handle the Korean
it's still going
business.
On. Oh gosh, it technically is still,
You can stay over there with your communism and not food. But General MacArthur, in his infinite fucking wisdom and arrogance, decides that he's going to defy the orders of the president, aka the commander-in-chief, but not only just the commander-in-chief, the same commander-in-chief that ended World War II. Clearly that guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he violates orders and orders all of the American forces to advance north all the way to the Yalu River, which is the terrain feature that defines the border between China and North Korea.
That seems like a bad sign.
Now, from Chairman Mao's perspective, this is an enormous fucking issue, understandably so. I mean, imagine if the roles were reversed and China were marching north through Mexico and he ordered his Chinese communist forces to go all the way up to the Rio Grande. Do you think America and Texas would sit there and twiddle their thumbs and hope that the Chinese were going to stop at the Rio Grande, knowing that China had taken a vow to basically eradicate capitalism? Absolutely fucking not. So why would you expect your enemy to not do the exact same thing that you would do in that situation? Sorry, if you're getting the vibe that I don't like General MacArthur, it's because I don't. General MacArthur's a hero. He said he would return to the Philippines in World War II, and that's
Keyboard
exactly
warriors.
what he did. Oh, did he? Did he fly in like Superman, shooting laser beams out of his eyes and tank the entire island by himself? Or was it the 1 million Marines and Army guys that went in there and gave their lives to liberate the Philippines?
Well, I mean, neither of us is there. Are we sure he wasn't Superman? I mean, I haven't seen him not shoot lasers out of his eyes. Wait. I haven't seen him, so that still works. But I haven't seen him not shoot lasers out of his eyes, so who's to say he couldn't, you know? It's just science. It's freaking Occam's razor. The simplest answer is probably the right one. And a man flying and shooting laser beams is so simple. You don't even have to think about it, because if you think about it, it becomes not simple. But if you don't think about it, it's simple. So, it must be true. Trust me, we were taught this in social studies. I know we do. The issue here is that Superman, believe it or not, is not an ass. Also true. He didn't shoot laser beams. Eisenhower, however, could. Oh, I'm mixing up my U.S. presidents. I'm sorry, I'm Canadian. I don't know all the U.S. presidents and which ones have superpowers. Oh. All Canadian prime ministers have the ability to manipulate maple syrup with their brain, though. So that's just a good fun fact for you all, though. Yeah, no, it's called maple syrup kinesis.
And why did he have to take a vow to return to the Philippines anyways? Was it because after Pearl Harbor had been attacked and he received early warning that the Japanese were coming, he decided to not get all of his planes up in the air, so when the Japanese showed up, they got to bomb all the planes still on the fucking ground, getting a bunch of men killed. And then he tried to delay the battle strategy of having all of his men fall back to Bataan, and instead he tried to defend the entire island at first, getting even more men killed because losing the Philippines would make him look bad. And then when pretty much all hope was lost, he decided to hop in a PT boat in the middle of night and evacuate himself and abandon his men. Is that why he had to return?
Probably.
That's not fair, because he was ordered by the president to evacuate the Philippines.
Hello,
just like
Max.
he was given the order by the president to not have U.S. troops approach the Chinese border, but ordered his troops to go right there anyways. It's almost like he's willing to follow orders whenever it saves his own ass, and he's willing to defy them and put all of his men in harm's way the second he thinks it's gonna pad his own fucking glory. I'm sorry, I'm getting very sidetracked. I apologize.
Almost lost my cool there.
Oh, the Grinch. Oh, the Grinch.
MacArthur issues the order to go all the way to the
I found a carrot in my ramen on my phone. Wait, I found a carrot from my ramen on my phone. Winterwax, maybe be a little more careful with your ramen. Oh my gosh. Hi, Corey. What's up? Oh, wait, did you send Battleship to Korea? I think that's what they said. Gotta need to start. I gotta work. Yeah, no worries, Miss Max. Gotta go. Need to start work. Yeah, enjoy work. If you can leave stream open in the background, I would appreciate it. Please and thank you. Bye.
AKA the Chinese border. Marines go into North Korea, start kicking ass, start beating their way all the way up the peninsula. They're advancing so fast that the front lines are moving faster than the supply lines can keep up. They're literally outrunning the supply lines. While that's going on, Chairman Mao in China sees that America is invading North Korea, so they do an understandable thing and start amassing hundreds of thousands of troops on the Chinese border in case America
Canadians make amazing stereotypes about each other. Tory ramen slaps. Ooh, it does. I think the USS Wisconsin who deleted a hill that shot at it. Wait, what?
To attack. American intelligence knows about this. They give the reports to General MacArthur. General MacArthur ignores them. The Marines keep advancing north, outrunning supply lines. At this point, Chairman Mao starts sending his Chinese forces into North Korea under the cover of night on foot. By November 1st,
there's a hilarious story about
Chinese
low
troops
Iowa
are
battleships.
confirmed in combat with the United States Marine Corps. Hits Truman's desk, hits MacArthur's desk. MacArthur says, that's not possible. Keep advancing towards the Chinese border. November 2nd, 1950, Marines advance into the Sudong Gorge on their way to the chosen reservoir when they are ambushed by a sizable Chinese element. Unfortunately for them, the Marines that they ambushed was the 1st Marine Division being led by none other than Chesty motherfucking Puller, the greatest Marine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a North Korean shore battery shot at the USS Wisconsin. Wisconsin replied with a full broadside that destroyed the entire hill. Her escort ship radioed them, temper? It was kind of just, I can imagine the captain just be like, they scratch the paint. Atomize them. Oh my gosh, it's just like this cold, like, they're dead. I'm not gonna even bother giving them emotion. That's literally what happened. I think that's so funny. The order have to be given with the least emotion. Like, less emotion than a normal military command. Just, like, drained of emotion. The most dead voice ever. Atomize them. The shell bounced off of one of the secondary gun batteries. Oh my gosh. Fat Electrician has a 3-minute video on it. Oh my gosh. So they did scratch the paint and they atomized them. Send them to the timeout dimension. War crimes are what we discussing? What war crimes are discussing? Hi, me, mommy, welcome in. A lot of them. Copy that. We're moving over there. Also, Nepo Lion, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. You scratched my anchor.
Of all time. The 1st Marine Division suffers 30 casualties,
the president
and the
was with the 2
Chinese
ships. Oh my
upwards
gosh.
of 300.
Oh,
so
that
that's
makes
good.
sense.
The battle went about as well as it could have for war, but also pretty big fucking red flag that there's actual Chinese elements now in North Korea engaging the Marines, which MacArthur, you'll never guess, decides to ignore.
I don't see much of nothing.
MacArthur! Hi, Violent
And for the
Echo,
first
welcome
couple of
in.
weeks in November, there's skirmishes all over the place between Chinese forces and the U.S. Marines. But MacArthur and his guys make the call, just keep pushing. So the lead element of the 1st Marines winds up in a place called Hagaroo, just south of the chosen Reservoir, which is a massive man-made lake. From here, the plan is we're gonna have to split and send guys
Eris,
on both sides to
I have a hat from the Dildo Brewing Company from Newfoundland. It is a very fun hat. You can also buy their stout beer, you know, get a stout dildo from them. It's pretty good. You know, I really like that. It's a very funny. Go find the brewing company, the Dildo Brewing Company from Dildo Newfoundland. It's so funny. It's so funny. BY Next, welcome in. Casual reminder that the Iowa class battleships are now all museums. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, Douglas the Man. Yeah, no, it's a thing. That explains a lot. I have a toque that's like that, yeah. I have a toque from that company too. So you're telling me that the dildo police is a thing? Uh-huh. I need to go there someday for the meme. I don't even think there's anything worth seeing, but we were seeing. Hi, Roop Doop, welcome in. Hi. Oh, also hello and BY Next, welcome in. Next, what you doing, buddy? How you doing, Roop Doop, though? How you doing? Also, I realize Roop Doop, you stream, so we need to get a shout out for Roop Doop too. Roop Doop, give a shout out for the Roop Doop. You could get married in the Kill Bride too. Wait, what? Oh, awesome. Yeah, go follow Roop Doop. Roopa Doopa Doopa Doop. If I remember correctly, you do cooking streams where VTubers tell you what to do. Sounds like fun. Me good, home from work. How you? Me good, me also good. Me at work, technically. This is my work. That weird, ain't it? I think so. Codes 01, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I mean, half of us would be in prison. True. Also, what I missed this stream, I'm missing my family. It's sporadic. I did watch some Lazy Purple, but don't worry, it'll go up on YouTube. But yeah, we've been having fun. The Dildo Police Force, I get a DPD. Yep. Oh, I used to, Keck. I'm renovating, so I had to stop. Oh, no worries, RoopDupe. Well, still, go follow RoopDupe, and then eventually someday they might stream again. Who knows? It's a gamble. Oh, okay, let's keep going. Keep
advancing north. The man in charge of this section of the Marines is General Oliver
I waited
Smith,
as long as I could, Mommy.
About this idea at all. Here's the thing: the terrain in this area of North Korea is described as being straight up or straight down. Either you're going up a hill or you're going down a hill, and the roads that you see on the map are literally bank, going downhill, road, cliff. There's nowhere to go. There's one way in and one way out, both directions. And calling it a road is kind of a stretch. It's literally an old ox trail that they can barely fit a truck on. And going back the other direction isn't any better. Going back towards friendly lines, there's still one trail going to the nearest town of Kodo-ri, and that's 12 miles away. And then from Kodo-ri, again, there's one trail, one road that goes 35 miles back to the port where all the supplies have to come in. So at Hagaroo, they're like 50 miles.
Very smart of them. Yeah, let's have one supply route. You know what? That's pretty normal to have one supply route. Why would you have that? Who could imagine like having one supply route? Who would ever think of 2, 3, 4? No, lame. We're doing one because that's less administration. We watch the sniper videos, Mommy. The S tier VOD. Korean veterans are unappreciated. Yeah, it really is. Or Scotland or Japan. I have lots of places I want to move. There's a lot of good places. But yeah, the sniper behind the scenes. Yeah. One supply route, and then the landslide. Yup!
Deep with one way
I want to see your reaction to Litherio so bad. Back in your VODs to rewatch Silver Camp reaction works. Awesome,
splitting their forces under the same conditions. But thankfully, General Smith realizes this is a humongous mistake and starts stockpiling supplies at Hagaroo and orders his engineers to start building an airstrip so they can fly shit in and out. Seeing this, General MacArthur and his staff are like, way to go, General Smith, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. What a brilliant plan. No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't,
MacArthur
Eris.
and his staff are mad at General Smith and make fun of him for being overly cautious and
No!
slowing down the operation instead of just driving headfirst further into enemy territory with no backup plan. But General Smith, being a good leader, says, I don't really care about my own personal glory of being the first guy to reach the Yalu River. I would much rather do it the safe way and look out for my guys. So that's exactly what he does. He stocks up supplies in Hagaroo and builds an airstrip. Okay, and bear in mind, it's November in North Korea. It's dipping down into like -40, -50 at night, and it snows there. We're one snowstorm away from blocking this ox trail, cutting off supply lines, and everybody.
Okay, so first off, I like the fact that he got freaking basically bullied for being like prepared, especially when the supply lines are so insanely stupid. It's classic. It's a classic. You see this happening all the time. Winter, I like Canada. I mean, it depends on where in Canada you're moving. Canada is a very big country. Did you know you can put 14 Frances in Canada alone? You couldn't fit 14 Frances in all of Canada. It's insane. You really don't want to do that, though. That would be an arduous task. But yeah, weapons win battles, logistics win war. Exactly, DM, exactly. But yeah, Aragon, don't worry, I'm not moving France unless you want me to. But so I think there's a lot of good parts of Canada. Not everything's gonna be perfect. Look into the place you're looking for. Also check how the weather is yearly, because if you're gonna be going to a place that you're like, it's like winter 90% of the time, bundle up, get used to it. There's some warmer places and some colder places. Canada is very diverse. There's a lot of climates. I would visit Canada to be closer to me. Aw. Tim Hortons used to be good. I miss Tim Hortons being good. It's still fine, but it's not as good. It's snowing here right now. I have my windows covered, so I have no idea what's happening with me. Winter's my favorite season, so Canada's kind of my dream. Canada's pretty good, you know? Got it. Just wanted to look, looking for options. Thank you. Yeah. Feels like winter lasts 8 months a year. Yep. Cold must ignore the cold. Back home to its own PC. Oh, welcome back, Zoe. Supplies. We also have at least 20 bullets. We don't need supplies.
Freezes and stars.
Yeah, there's only 20 bullets you need, right?
The threat of the Chinese military, this was a good and necessary idea. So they set up the 1st Marine Division headquarters right there with 3,600 men and the airstrip. From here, they send the rest of the Marines and the Army guys up around the chosen reservoir. Up the right side, they send 2,500 U.S. Army guys backed up by about 1,000 South Koreans. While they're advancing north, they come across a place called Hudong, and after that, the weather conditions and the weather is so bad they have to leave.
Sorry. That is a I'm immature. I am emotionally immature, if we can all tell here. Listen. Okay. I'm not gonna make fun of a name of another country's place. That's not for me. That is not. I am not a native speaker of the language. It is. I'm. But it sounds like dong. Who dong? I mean, I'm only a girl. I can only do so much. And then I just react and scream it out because he said who dong. I can only do so much, okay? Oh my gosh. Other reactors have done the same thing. Okay, at least I'm not alone. Canada's above me because I live in Washington. Ooh, Wolfie, that's fun. Who dong is this? Who dong? New pants. What? No. Wait, no. New pants. Who dong? Get it? Ow, my funny bone. I just hit my funny bone on my desk. Ow. Okay, ow. Okay, fun, great. Romeo, you know Shanghai Airport is also called Pudong International. No! Pudong, no! I can only do so much. I'm just a girl. Hear your funny bone wolf laughing. The irony.
Armored unit. Their tanks there in Hudong while the rest of the men advance forward.
Thanks,
and they end up taking a position right here and they dig in. Going up the left side of the reservoir, they have Fox Company, 234 Marines that go up on a ridge securing a choke point on the road right here. And then the rest of the 8,000 Marines advance into a place called Udamni where they dig in. November 23rd rolls around. Thanksgiving. They all get to eat cold turkey while they're freezing their ass off in negative 20+ degree temperatures. November 24th, MacArthur comes through division headquarters celebrating, telling everybody we're all going to be home by Christmas. Hooray, and then he takes off and fucks off in his plane. What MacArthur doesn't know is that Mao has already sent in 120,000 soldiers to surround everybody at the chosen reservoir. And the Marines don't know that either, so they're all just
I'm not sure. Okay, sorry. Can we go back to that? For some reason, that was really satisfying to watch.
What MacArthur doesn't know is that Mao has already sent in 120,000.
I know it'd be impossible, but for some reason my brain wants to see an infinite loop of this.
Soldiers to surround everybody at the chosen reservoir. And the Marines don't know that either, so they're all just hanging out, freezing their asses
There's a warehouse
off.
meadow
It's
in
so
Oregon.
cold that the lubrication that they use on their guns
actually
actually turns into jelly and would jam the guns. So they strip all their guns of all the lubrication, and if they get in a firefight, they're just going to have to run the guns dry. But that's not going to happen because MacArthur was just here. He said we're going to be home by Christmas. The war is basically won. Hooray! I just got to sit around and freeze my ass off for a few more days, and it's all going to be good. Until it's not.
Raw. That's fucking
November
raw.
27th, 10 o'clock at night, both at Udamni, the Army position, and Fox Company, all the Marines are hanging out. They're in their sleeping bags. They're sleeping. They're waiting for the war to get over. And then they hear bugle calls off in the distance. And within minutes, all hell breaks loose as wave after wave of Chinese soldiers start rushing their position. The Marines that were up monitoring the perimeter are scrambling to get the guns up and running because the bolts have frozen in place because it's so fucking cold. They're literally pissing on the machine guns to break the bolts loose. The Marines that were sleeping are scrambling to get out of their sleeping bags and get their guns as a firefight breaks out. The Marines that are just waking up don't even have time to get all their cold weather gear on. Some of these guys are literally running around in a firefight in negative 50-degree weather with no boots, just wearing their socks. The Marines start mowing down the Chinese soldiers as they attempt to attack their position, but the Chinese just keep coming wave after wave after wave. And after the first couple of waves, the waves that are coming out now, some of them don't even have guns on them. They're just running into the battlefield, picking up a gun off a dead Chinese soldier and then attacking the Marine position. The Marines got everything going for them. They have machine guns, they have the high ground. Granted, it's negative 50 degrees, but that affects everybody, the enemy included. But the Chinese are throwing...
Thank you for the follow, Spearn Shot. I had to be very careful about elongating the ear. You know, fun name, buddy. You know, Spear. I'm gonna call you Spear. Titty witties on boots. What a... No. Goodbye. No! I'm getting banned by my mods. We're gonna piss on the moon, girlies. Piss on the moon!
So many men at the Marines, they can't keep up. Even with the machine guns running full clip, they're still managing to get to the Marine position. And other Marines are fighting off Chinese in hand-to-hand combat with rifles and bayonets, trying to keep them off of the machine gunners. It's literally the nastiest, grittiest warfare you could imagine. It is a knife fight inside of a freezer. The foxholes are shallow because the ground was so frozen, so the Marines literally start taking the dead bodies of Chinese soldiers and stacking them into walls using them for cover. And it goes all night long. The Marines at Udamni...
This war is terrifying and metal at the same time. I mean, like, sending your soldiers without guns to go and get the dead people's guns, and then using dead enemies as human sandbags, like Shark King just said, that's terrifying. That would be... I can't imagine the horror of being there, like, the trauma that these men must have gone through. But, like, if you're describing this as a fictional concept, like, if this was a fictional setting that we were talking about this, we'd be like, oh, that's so metal, what the heck? You were too crude, I swear. Oh, thank you. But no, it's just like, this is like the part of my brain that's like metal. It's just like, I'm not sure if I should say that yet. I don't know. Yeah, Warhammer 40k vibes. Like, if this was a fantasy setting, I think this is cool. But because this is real, I'm like, yeah, this was resourceful, but also like, I feel so bad for everyone involved in this. Congratulations, soldier, you've been promoted to the sandbag division. No. Nope, real bodies and real lives. Exactly, Corey, and that's why it's horrifying. Yeah, some things would be better if they had just been fictional, you know? Wait till you watch the vid on World War I's Ulzbek Fortress. Oh no. Oh no. Astro military type strategy.
The army on the other side of the reservoir and Fox Company all fight their asses off all night. And you gotta remember, Fox Company's only 234 guys holding a position by themselves with no backup for miles, and they are getting attacked by thousands of Chinese soldiers. And if they can't hold the choke point at this road, 8,000 Marines up north at Udamni are completely cut off and are absolutely gonna die. Luckily, the man in charge of Fox Company is Captain William Barber, a veteran of Saipan and Tarawa, two of the biggest, nastiest battles of World War II. He radios into HQ as they're getting attacked.
Actually, wait, go back to that.
Biggest, nastiest battles of William Barber.
For some reason, this little, like, freckle is endearing. I saw that freckle and I'm like, that's a cool guy. I don't know why. I've never had that happen. I've never had a freckle just be like, this man is the cool dude. Like, this is someone we could trust. no idea. I know, like, we're just learning about this guy, but for some reason my brain's just like, that freckle tells a story. That freckle is the one we should be listening to. What happened, brain? Someone should cut open my brain and see what's going on, because it doesn't make any sense. I need to donate my brain to science, because this is a very... Lumi, they're done? Uh-huh. Wait, what done? What are done? Kino, what are done? What's done? Wait, you added me in the server. You sent me the new outfit and the bald taco? Okay. Well, we'll be playing around with that later. I'm not dealing with that on stream, but thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I see it now. I see it. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh, no. I'm not getting enough hazard pay for that. No.
A veteran of Saipan and Tarawa, two of the biggest, nastiest battles of World War II. He radios into HQ as they're getting attacked. We're surrounded, but we can hold them. The 234 Marines of Fox Company quite literally spend their night farming...
Roofdupe, do you not understand how violent my ADHD is? It is a miracle that I am able to function as a human being at all. It is a terrifying amount of ADHD, okay?
Commies for XP. Captain Barber even gets shot through the leg, refuses to get medevaced, and walks around the battlefield on a crutch, commanding his men all night long. Morning breaks, the battle's over. Fox Company has sustained 24 casualties. Bear in mind, casualties is dead and wounded, whether that be from battle or cold weather. On the flip side of the coin, Fox Company literally quits counting the dead bodies outside the perimeter at 1,500. That's not including all of the ones that were wounded by the battle and the weather. Across the entire chosen reservoir, the Marines up at Udamni, Fox Company, and the Army, it's suspected that America lost between 600 and 700 soldiers, with hundreds of more wounded from either the battle or cold weather. The conservative estimates of the Chinese casualties are in excess of 12,000. The battle report gets sent down to General Smith. Smith is freaking out. He kicks him up to higher command, and higher command doesn't believe him.
I don't believe him.
So MacArthur sends out his right-hand guy, his patsy, his yes man, General Almond. Mr. Peanut shows up to the fucking army position in his helicopter, hops out, and the army commander informs him, I've got like 400 dead soldiers. A bunch of guys are wounded. We've captured a bunch of Chinese guys last night, and we've recognized patches from at least 2 separate divisions, meaning that there's at least 2 divisions of Chinese soldiers, 26,000 guys surrounding this position right now. To which General Almond, not believing him, says there's not 2 divisions in all of North Korea. Quote, are you gonna let a bunch of Chinese laundrymen get the best of it? End quote. He then gets in his helicopter and fucks off. MacArthur and his staff then issue the order to the 1st Marine Division to continue their advance towards the Yalu River.
Why are you the way that you are?
Yeah.
At this point, General Smith and his men realize that they are now basically completely on their own, and higher command has lost their fucking minds. General Smith knows that if Fox Company falls, all the Marines at Udamni are done for, and if he falls at the crossroads at the base of the chosen reservoir, the entire division is done for. The real problem is, his HQ at the base of the chosen reservoir, right at the crossroads, has 3,600 Marines, but they're not infantry. These aren't combat troops. These are cooks and mechanics and engineers and shit. These are not hardened combat troops. But they're about to be, because he orders absolutely everybody to get their guns and get ready for a fight and pick up defensive positions, because the Chinese are coming for them next, and he knows it. And sure enough, the Chinese start launching attacks during the day on November 28th. They launch attacks everywhere they had attacked the night before, and they're now attacking the division HQ at Hagaroo, where General Smith is. The Chinese penetrated so far south that they actually came up behind Hagaroo, and Hagaroo is now completely surrounded as well. General Smith knows that Mao wants to divide and conquer, and he can't let him do it, so he sends the order out to his men in the field, hold your position as long as you can, and then make your way back to Hagaroo so we can consolidate forces. And that's exactly what they do. They fight all day and all night on the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, and then when they can't take any more, they finally start to make their way back to Hagaroo. And this isn't just hop in the trucks and drive 10 miles down the road. They're completely surrounded. If they are moving, they are fighting every single inch of the way while trying to get hundreds of wounded men out the entire time. The army fights their way down to Hudong, where they reconvene with their tanks and continue fighting their way down to Hagaroo. The Marines have to fight their way down to where Fox Company is, reconvene with them, and continue fighting their way down to Hagaroo.
We haven't actually got the Tootsie Rolls stuff
yet. On November 29th, Hagaroo is completely surrounded. The road is cut off. They have no way of escaping. So they call up what remains of the 1st Marines down south, and they have a colonel in charge of them, Chesty Polar, who drives north and takes over the nearest town 11 miles.
Chesty Polar. Come on! Come on with these names! Chesty? Chesty. Chesty. I'm gonna change my name legally to Chesty. I'm gonna legally is a literal war god. I'm gonna legally change my name to Chesty. He's top heavy. He's a war god, but Chesty Red. Patron saint of the Marines. Chesty Red sounds wild. Chesty, but that's Lumi. I'm gonna change my real name to Chesty. Listen, no, respect to the man, but that name, though, you should fear those names. I'll add it to the list. Chesty Red. Luminous Chest. Listen. You can't do this to me. I'm just a girl, and that is funny. I respect the man. He's apparently a war god. We're about to learn about him. But his name is Chesty. Why? I needed to edit. I sent you a picture. Is it just gonna be a picture of boobs? You're sending me a lot of DMs. Ooh, no, that's a cool. You can see the strength. He doesn't have, his chest seems pretty normal though. I was expecting you just to send me like a picture of boobs and like, that's chesty. And I'm like, excuse? Yeah, sure. I honestly, you could have just done that. Just, okay. Yeah, no, that guy looks like he's got some command experience. Like you can see the intensity in his eyes. Okay, I'm done with Chesty Polar being hilarious. Let's move on.
Miles from Hagaroo called
Riko's name
Reed.
gonna be
the Chinese
terrifying
try to
with the
stop Chesty Polar in the first Marines, but they can't stop him. Once he's taken the town, they launch multiple attacks trying to retake it, but they can't. From here, they immediately put together Task Force Drysdale, 900 infantry troops that are going to convoy 11 miles up to Hagaroo
built
to
like a fridge.
reinforce
Oh
them.
my gosh,
Task
really?
Force Drysdale has to fight through the entire way. 1/3 of the men in that convoy end up getting killed or wounded. Another third are forced to turn back because there's so many damaged trucks blocking the road.
Luminous Chester, Chesty Red, both are good.
Makes it into Hagaroo, but now Hagaroo has 300 infantry soldiers helping all the cooks and mechanics. As the Marines from Udamni and the Army unit continue to fight their way south, the only thing keeping Hagaroo in this fight is the airfield, bringing in C-47s full of supplies and carrying out thousands of wounded. You know, that same airfield that General Smith got a bunch of shit for building because it was unnecessary and he was being overly cautious. Yeah, well, now it's the only lifeline they have.
Fucking knew it!
Ha!
The army fights their way down. They make it into Hagaroo on December 1st.
His John Bellystone video. Chesty is described as built like a I didn't read that out. I read that partially. Built like a fridge with a smaller fridge for a head. That's what I misread. I didn't read it all the way. That's insane, Vincent. Oh my gosh. I assume this is the Korean War. It is hectic. It is.
That same exact.
There's a thing called long chats. You can make it in there or something. I don't know. Well, just either maybe Luminous look at this. Luminous, I sent pics of my minis. Awesome, Eris. Thank you.
They've got C-47s coming in, dropping supplies, carrying out wounded, and somewhere along the lines, obviously they're running low on ammo, they're running low on medical supplies, they're running low on food. It's a complete disaster, and one of the things they needed were 60mm mortar rounds, commonly referred to as Tootsie Rolls. Well, apparently the guy loading the C-47 didn't know that, so an entire C-47 full of literal Tootsie Rolls, like the candy, shows up. Literally just cases and cases and pallets of fucking Tootsie Rolls, and the Marines are like, I guess we're eating candy and kicking ass. Why not? Bear in mind, they're still getting attacked all day and all night. Just repelling wave after wave, meat wall after meat wall of commies, and pretty soon it's just dead commies and Tootsie Roll wrappers all over the fucking place. And then the Marines start to realize when it's sub-zero temperatures, Tootsie Rolls are more than just a delicious treat. If you stick it in your mouth and chew it up a little bit and take it out, it makes basically rubber cement, and they start using it to patch fuel lines and patch holes and fix all kinds of shit in Hagaroo. And the Holy crap! The Army just keep fighting all day, all night. They're doing everything they can for their wounded. The cold absolutely sucks. It's freezing the morphine. People are in pain. But on the flip side, the cold is also freezing shut wounds that would normally cause a lot of men to bleed to death. Oh, cool. So the cold actually ended up saving a lot of lives as well. Everybody's got frostbite to varying degrees, but everybody just keeps fighting their ass off day and night. And by December 2nd, the rest of the Marines from Udamni make their way into Hagaroo. And while all this is going on somewhere along the line, it finally dawns on higher command that they have severely fucked up. MacArthur is just a defeated man. The newspapers back home have completely written off the entire 1st Marine Division with newspaper headlines basically saying they're doomed, they're a lost division, they're all gonna die. Pray for your loved ones. And as the Marines from Udamni are coming in, even though they haven't read those headlines and they haven't heard that, they feel that way. Their heads are hanging low, they're beat up, they're frostbitten, they got wounded,
they really
and
are.
It just fucking sucks. And as they come marching in, all the other Marines in Hagaroo and the army start chanting the Marine Corps hymn. And as the Marines hear that, they lift their heads a little bit higher and they go from staggering into Hagaroo to marching into Hagaroo. And this is it. This is a Hollywood moment. This is Eye of the Tiger playing in a Rocky movie where everybody decides this fight isn't fucking over yet.
Oh my gosh. Retreat?
Obviously,
Question
the Marines
mark?
that have been at Hagaroo are in a little bit better shape than the guys that were up at Udamni and the Army unit. They're bringing everybody in. They're getting them fed. They're trying to get everybody warm. You got C-47s flying in supplies, carrying out
like
wounded, bringing in ammunition, food, rations, absolutely everything. The Marines are literally using flamethrowers to heat up the food because it's frozen solid. The Chinese are still trying to attack, but America's got air superiority, artillery, supplies. They've got everything going for them except for numbers. The question now becomes, how are we going to get everybody out of here? We could fly everybody out with C-47s, but then we're going to have to abandon all the trucks, all the artillery, all the equipment, and then you're going to have the bigger issue of once the Chinese figure out that we're flying out all of our guys, the guys that they leave out at the ass end, if they get attacked, they're all going to die. So that's not really an option. The only option is to fight 11 miles south back to Koto-ri with Chesty and the rest of the 1st Marine Division, and then from there, they're going to have to link up and fight further south from Koto-ri down to the port of Hungnam, where they're going to be able to get on a ship and get out of there. So they spend the next 4 days getting ready for this massive movement, trying to fly out the most wounded on the airplanes, but they're not going to be able to get all the wounded out in time. They're going to have to put them in trucks and take them with them. Now, this type of movement is what many historians and battlefield experts would refer to as a fighting retreat. Basically, you're going to have to fight while you're defending your wounded and extract the other way. The problem is, and what General Smith would later argue, this is not a fighting retreat because I'm completely surrounded. I'm not falling back to friendly enemy lines. I'm literally assaulting another direction, and that's exactly what he tells his men, and it sets the vibe for the entire operation. We're not falling back. We're going back in and through the enemy.
Let's fucking go.
Ooh.
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
And that's exactly what they do. The Marines punch through and fight 11 miles straight to Koto-ri, where they link back up with Chesty.
Remind me if I forget. I have a bad memory sometimes.
While in Koto-ri, they're still obviously having supplies and everything airdropped in, and whether it was purely a mistake or whether somebody in the Air Force has a really good sense of humor, some of the supplies that they airdropped in were crates and crates of condoms.
What?
Which, whether it was intentional or not, provided a much-needed comic relief because, let's face it, the Marines are only good at 3 things: getting stuff dead, broken, or pregnant, and pretty much all the enemies dying off, everything's already broken, being patched together with fucking Tootsie Rolls. There's only one thing left they could do. All jokes aside, there's still work to be done, and somebody's got to get the Marines back on task, and this is where Chesty comes up with one of the most famous quotes in Marine Corps history. Quote, "We're surrounded. That simplifies the problem. They're to the left of us, they're to the right of us, they're in front of us, they're behind us. They can't get away this time." And with that, around 14,000 Marines and 1,000...
Okay, can we just take a moment? In a story where we go to Hudong, in a story where there's a character named Chesty, they dropped condoms. They dropped condoms on Chesty in Hudong. They dropped condoms on Chesty in Hudong. It's not in Hudong, but it's funnier when I say it like that, okay? You know, just... Chesty Puller is a literal war god. No, I agree. But can we just feel the pain I'm feeling? Because I want to scream, because this is so funny. We're all adults, we're all adults, we're all adults. They dropped condoms on Chesty in Hudong. This is a quiet, silent scream. I'm keeping my mouth closed because if I scream the way that I want to and laugh as hard as I want to, I will permanently destroy my voice. You will never hear a sound from me again. I am doing my best. Okay, let's continue. What a fucking time to show up. Hi, Ninja, hi. Oh, okay.
Vehicles
Okay.
set off on this 35-mile journey. Now, remember, this is a narrow road, only one car wide. This convoy stretches
Athena,
for
Belladonna,
miles.
welcome in. Thank you
As
for
the lead
following.
element approaches Fuchilin Pass, there is a bridge. It is the only way to get across this massive gorge. And when they get there, the bridge is blown up right in the middle with a 29-foot gap in it. The Chinese have them trapped. There is no other way out. This is it.
Hi, Athena. How
This
you doing,
is
darling?
game over. For anybody except for America. Because America has the greatest logistical capability that the world has ever seen. So when the Marines get on the radio and say, we need a bridge, the Air Force simply replies, copy. The Marines then leave the trucks on the road, fight up the bridge, take the high ground, and start engaging the enemy for hours, giving the Air Force time. While that's going on, the Air Force acquires 8 portable...
Oh, no, wait. Watch them drop something else hilarious. We got Tootsie Rolls, we got condoms. What else are we gonna drop? I don't know. Diapers? Are they gonna be like, oh, a bridge? You know, there's this new brand of diapers called Bridges. That's what they probably want. So we'll send them some diapers. And then they're gonna find a way to make a bridge out of diapers, right? Maid dresses, lube. Hey, freeze the lube, and then you can make a bridge. It works.
Bridge sections weighing 3,000 pounds apiece that have never been dropped out of a plane before. Do practice runs figuring out how to drop these things out of a plane without breaking them and without getting people killed. Figures it out and airdrops the bridge pieces back at Kodori, where the Marines load them onto trucks and bulldozers and get them in the convoy headed to the bridge. And this gets done in the span of less than 24 hours. Once the bridge pieces make it there, with the Marines still engaging the enemy and the workers under fire, they then install the bridge sections and have it go from, there's no bridge here, we're fucked, to, hey guys, we've got a bridge in less than 36 hours. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this was during the worst weather of the entire affair, with temperatures dipping down to negative 55 degrees during a blizzard where visibility was less than 50 feet in front of your face. And that's it. Once they cross this bridge, they're home free. There's a couple of more skirmishes between here and Hungnam, but they just wipe them to the side. You gotta remember, the Chinese have been out there just as long as them, and they're not getting all this resupply and everything else. These guys are hurting. They're rolling up on setup ambushes and checkpoints, and the Chinese soldiers are literally just frozen solid in place. And as they're making this multi-day voyage to Hungnam, this last 35 miles, the weather breaks, and it goes from being negative 55 degrees to like 30 degrees, an 80-degree temperature shift. And to these guys, it's fucking hot out. So when the 14,000 Marines roll into Hungnam, the same Marines in newspapers have been saying they're as good as dead, they're doomed, they're a lost cause for weeks, roll in, they do it sitting on top of tanks and in trucks like half-dressed.
What?
So they linked
why
up
the
with the UN
BF2 is
forces
called
in
a buff?
Hungnam.
Why?
There's now 100,000 men there, but
I'll
there's
code
still
freeze into
hundreds of
syrup.
thousands
Put
of
it on
Chinese
hotcakes.
that are coming down as reinforcements to crush them. They got to get out of there as soon as possible. They've got 100 ships to load everybody up on, but then things get complicated because 100,000 Korean civilians start showing up from all the towns and villages nearby because the Chinese were looting them and killing them, or they just don't want to live under the threat of communism their entire lives. And they just start walking to
ugly,
Hungnam
fat fucker.
and beg them
Jeez,
to help.
Ari,
We've only got 100 ships to get 100,000 of our own guys out of there. I don't think many people would judge them if they said, I'm sorry, we can't help you. We're trying to do everything we can, but we got to save ourselves first. But that's not what they did. U.S. forces have lost a ton of men. They've got thousands of wounded. They've got over 10,000 men suffering from frostbite, and they say, fuck it, we can still impromptu successfully pull off one of the largest humanitarian evacuations in the history of the world.
That's so
Why
cool.
not?
Oh
They
my
rigged
gosh.
the entire city to blow up, including the port, and then loaded absolutely everybody, the UN troops and 100,000 civilians on board of these ships, and it is just ass-packed like sardines. To give you an idea of how packed it was, the USS Meredith, a merchant marine vessel that only had 68 crew members, managed to cram over 14,000 Korean civilians on board. And on an extremely dangerous 7-day voyage to safety, not a single one of them would die. In fact, 5 people were born, giving it the nickname the Ship of Miracles. So they got absolutely everybody evacuated
other planes,
onto
the
ships,
BF2 is
got
ugly,
underway
LBO,
on this
valid.
extremely dangerous 7-day voyage, and then blew up the entire city. Over 1 million people in South Korea today are descendants of those civilians that the UN troops saved. At the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir, 1,079 American troops died in combat. Another 4,582 were wounded, with thousands more suffering from frostbite. Conservative estimates from the UN believe that the Chinese military military suffered somewhere around 43,000 casualties, with other credible estimates ranging as high as in excess of 60,000. The chosen reservoir would go on to become one of the most decorated battles in American history, with the men earning 17 Medals of Honor, including Captain Barber of Fox Company, 73 Navy Crosses, one of which went to Chesty Puller, and 23 Distinguished Service Crosses.
Wait, Polar now? There's a new... Polar. No, okay, he said it slightly different. My brain heard it. Is it polar or puller? Is it polar as in the ice caps, or is it polar? Is his name Chesty Puller? I need confirmations on this because this story gets a lot funnier. It's polar Chesty. Polar Chesty. They dropped condoms on Chesty Puller and Hudong. Okay. In deprived, welcome in, thank you for the follow. And Candy. The Candy's funny too, but it's not as funny as the sentence I'm saying. So he's chesty, he can pull bitches. No! Oh yeah, but in depraved den, welcome in, thank you for the follow. Go follow Sweet Frequency _ my mom just shout her out. Sweet _ Frequency. She is an amazing woman. She is beautiful. She has a great voice. I'm not going to make the obvious choice here about Chesty Puller, but you know it's there. You can extrapolate. You can extrapolate. She's really fun. Go watch her. She plays a lot of first-person shooters. I think you'd have a lot of fun with her. Okay, let's get back into this before I freaking die.
The chosen reservoir would later in life go on to express great pride in the fact that they not only managed to save themselves,
I don't know, Iris.
but they managed to save South Korea as well. And allegedly, many of them requested to be buried with Tootsie Rolls. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the
buy
Quack.
Buy his merch.
Out.
Bam. Is there an after credits? Let me look. There is.
So tough and what they had been through. You know, you see things like that and you go, what are the limits of a man's endurance and his courage?
I'm ready for your sound effect. Yep.
We felt that we were going to kick some butt, and we were kicking butt up there. Until you got to Hellfire Valley, I should put that in there. I would say when I got to Hellfire Valley on the way out, walking out, you could almost cry seeing those Marines laying there. Until you see your guy laying there, you don't think much of it.
Yeah.
As we got near the lines, we were aware that we were getting into Hagaroo. Somebody said, count, cadence, count. And people started getting in step. You could hear the shoe packs. First clumpity, clump, clump, clumpity, and then there clump, clump, clump. People were getting in step. We were marching.
Yeah,
we marched into Hagaroo. The sound of feet crunching in the frozen ice. Someone watching us said, "Look at those bastards,
yeah,
those magnificent bastards."
You're not the same person. You're a different person.
Getting ads right now. I'm so sorry, everyone.
You're just something you never thought you'd be.
I'm happy that I was able to participate in something that was as important as the Korean War.
We had an obligation to fulfill, and we did it. Freedom has a price. It's not free. You have to fight for this freedom. And when I look and see
Twitch
what
can't be respectful.
the South Korean people are enjoying today, I guess I'm glad I was part of that.
Yeah.
Time proves that we were absolutely right in doing what we did to help save them.
You're proud that you did it. You don't realize how proud you are until you get older.
What the heck?
I don't know why, but I can relate and say I was a chosen survivor. You know, it's... Not everybody can say that. I was there. You're proud of the moment. And you're glad you survived. And God bless America, that's all I can say.
I have seen around the world, have seen the cleanest bodies, the filthiest minds, the highest morals and the lowest morals of any group of animals I've ever seen. Thank God for the United States Marine Corps. Eleanor Roosevelt. Ad's over at worst time. Jeez. Well, somber moment to end on. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to go support The Fat Electrician in the original video. I'm going to post it again in a YouTube chat. Also, if you want to come over to twitch.tv/LuminusRed, come drop a follow. We would appreciate having you here. Until next time, my lovely Lustars. Bye.